Hey guys, it's Taylor here, and I want to take a look at the SparkFun TinkerKit that you have and the different components that are inside when you begin to unpack it. So this is the kit that you all should have, and if we open this up, we're going to see that there is a bunch of different components inside here. So I want to take a look at what each of the components are, but before we do that, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of keeping track of all of these different parts. Okay? They are all important, and most of them will be used as a part of this class. If you lose some of your parts, then you will not be able to complete some of the circuits that we will be building. So make sure you are taking care to not lose any of the parts inside your kit. So taking a look at all of the different parts here, some of them are pretty self-explanatory and don't need much explanation. This is our cord that we're going to use to plug our board into our computer so that we can transfer information and programs onto our board, as well as power the board to run the programs and the items that we have connected to it. Next, we have a bag of jumper wires, and these are going to be used to connect your board to your breadboard and different parts of our circuits together. This white board right here is called a breadboard, and what this allows for is easy connection of circuits by simply plugging in jumper wires or components into the different holes on the breadboard. It's important to note that on the breadboard, certain areas of this are pre-connected with each other. For example, this top row right here is labeled 1 on both sides. Every hole in this row is connected to each other. So if I plug a wire in to hole A in row 1 and to hole C in row 1, those wires are effectively connected to each other. The other thing to keep in mind is that on the left and right sides, we have this vertical row. One side is red and labeled positive. The other side is black and labeled negative. The negative columns on this side and this side are connected, and the positive columns on this side and this side are connected. So this is the breadboard that you will use to connect different components as part of your circuit. Next, let's take a look at the main board. Your kit comes with a SparkFun Arduino red board, and I'm going to open this up, and you'll notice a couple of things. First, on the left end, we have our USB port, and we also have a power port where you can plug in an external power supply so that you don't need to have this connected to your computer to run your program. Along the top and bottom ends, we have header pins that will allow us to easily use jumper wires to make connections to our breadboard. And they are labeled with numbers and with letter codes that we are going to learn as a part of this class. So this is the breadboard. This is the main portion, the brain behind the Arduino programming and circuitry that we are going to be doing. We have a simple 4-battery power supply. This end connects into the power port on our breadboard, and this will take 4 AA batteries to power any circuits that we're creating. Inside our silver bag here are an assortment of LED lights. We want to make sure that we keep track of these. There are multiple colors that you will use for a variety of different activities. Here we have a pair of geared motors that you will use to add motion to the projects that you are creating. And you will learn how to program these for different types of behavior. This small board is our motor driver board, and this is a key component to connecting our breadboard to our motors and getting them to operate the way that we want them to operate based on our programming. These two bags have resistors in them. A resistor is used to limit the amount of current that is traveling through your circuit to prevent overloading different components. We have two different varieties. All of the resistors in each packet are the same, and they have a code of colored bands printed on them that tells you the amount of resistance that particular resistor provides. We will load a key into our assignments so that you can see and access the specific size ratings for the resistors that you've got. Inside our final bag of parts, we have a number of things. We have a potentiometer that will allow you to control the current through your system. We've got a simple switch. We have a mini speaker. We have a photo cell, a temperature sensor, a programmable RGB LED, a few push buttons, and a mini servo motor. All of these parts will be used in different circuits that we will look at in this class. So that is a look at all of the different parts inside your SparkFun TinkerKit. Again, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of making sure you're taking care of all of these little parts and keeping track of them so that they don't get lost. If you lose any of these parts, it's going to make it very difficult or impossible for you to complete some of the circuits and programming that we will be doing in this class.